All right. Good morning. Welcome to the head coaches press conference for the 2024 College Football Playoff Semifinal at the Rose Bowl game presented by Prudential. Before we get started, I'm going to go through the format for today. We're going to start with opening statements from both coaches. After that, we will take questions. We have mic runners on both sides of the room, so raise your hand if you have a question. When you get the mic, please state your name and affiliation before asking your question. After we finish with the questions, we will have a photo opportunity with both head coaches and the Leishman Trophy. We're going to start by allowing the cameras in the back to get their shot, and then after a few seconds, we'll allow the photographers to take their shot. So, with that, we will go ahead and get started with opening statements, and we will start with Coach Harbaugh.
Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. Excited to be here. Just excited to attack this day. I have one day left with our preparations. And we got a good day in front of us, and getting ready for the tasks at hand. Looking forward to an incredible football game. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Coach Saban.
Yeah, well, certainly we appreciate the opportunity to be playing in the college football playoff. We appreciate the opportunity to be in the Rose Bowl, and we certainly appreciate everybody's effort for the hospitality they've provided us. And it's been a good experience for our players, and I want to congratulate Coach Harbaugh and his team for an undefeated season and winning the Big Ten championship. They've done a great job in terms of what they've been able to do with their players. They're a very well-coached team and very challenging for us, and we'll use the day-to-day to try to clean up what we need to do to hopefully play a really good game.
Thank you, Coach. At this time, we'll start with questions. We'll start in the middle here, about 4 rows back.
For Coach Harbaugh, Ryan Hennessy, WVTM 13 in Birmingham, how do you, I don't know if the word stop is right, but how do you limit Jalen Milroe, who clearly has gotten better every game this season?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, really all 11 on our defense. I mean, he's a great player, great runner, 500 some yards of scramble yards, another 250 or so in quarterback-driven runs. Outstanding thrower, big offensive line. It's outstanding running backs, tight ends, receivers. Yeah, all 11 really for us on defense, and we've got a game plan, and getting things cleaned up, but on our toes at all times. I mean, it's a big challenge.
All right, we're going to go to the middle, stay in the middle here, about 4 rows back.
This is for Coach Saban. Johnny Condon, ABC 3340 Sports in Birmingham. You've played in a lot of big bowl games throughout your career at Alabama, but it's been almost 15 years since you played in this Rose Bowl. What are some of your fondest memories from playing that national championship game against Texas, whether it be the lead up to the game itself, or just anything you remember?
Well, the Rose Bowl has always been a first-class granddaddy of them all. Growing up in the Big Ten for 12 years, it was always the goal to be able to win the Big Ten and get to the Rose Bowl, so that's sort of special, and it was special to play in that game. But really haven't thought a whole lot about it. There's a lot of challenges that go with this game, so we've been trying to focus on what we need to do to be able to go out and execute and play well in this game against a really, really good team. So I don't reminisce much about what's happened in the past. I'm kind of looking forward to today and the next day, so we just got to take it one day at a time.
Our next question is going to come from all the way in the back on the right.
For Coach Saban, Noel Blumel, WTOL 11 in Toledo, Ohio. Coach Saban, you found immediate success in your first head coaching job with the University of Toledo. Reflecting on that inaugural head coaching season, what is a coaching philosophy or lesson you acquired in that Toledo job that helped set the tone for the rest of your coaching career until now?
Could you repeat that? I couldn't hear it very well.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes. So you found immediate success in your first head coaching job at the University of Toledo. And so reflecting on that inaugural head coaching season, what is a philosophy or coaching lesson you learned in that inaugural season that helped set the tone for the rest of your coaching career until now?
Well, I think that, initially I was probably, counting on some of the things that I learned from former mentors, whether it was, George Perlis, Bill Belichick or whatever, in terms of how they built success in their programs, and tried to emulate that as much as we could. But it's always been our philosophy to try to create value for players in terms of their personal development, developing careers off the field, developing a career on the field, being the best that they could be at whatever they choose to do. So that's always been the philosophy. It's always been what we tried to build on, and it's worked, fairly well for us through the years. And we're going to continue to have that philosophy so that players can be more successful in life because they were involved in the program.
Our next question is going to come from the left side of the room, about 3/4 of the way back.
Here. Hey, question for Coach Harbaugh, Jamal Kennedy, WSFA 12 News in Montgomery. For a lot of the year, your team has been one of the best two teams in the country, but now, no pun intended, Alabama comes in rolling with a lot of momentum, maybe even overshadowing your team a little bit. Are you sort of maybe embracing, I guess, maybe an underdog type role, or maybe teams or guys are maybe not talking about Michigan as much now as you get ready to face Alabama?
There's a lot to unpack there, but just excited for the game. Feel the team's in a good place, and we're things we've learned from being in this in this game from the last couple of years. We're applying those. Just really locked in. We're ready to go, ready to play. It's going to take one more day, though. We still need this day to clean up a few things, but feel like we're in a really good place.
All right, raise your hand if you have a question for Coach. We'll go in the right side middle here, about 5 rows back.
Chase Goodbread with the Tuscaloosa News for Coach Saban. There's been a lot of trick plays, gadget plays, et cetera, in Michigan's offense, at least compared to other teams. Can you speak to the preparation for all that stuff?
Well, I think, first of all, they do a great job offensively in being able to create balance, in the offense with runs and passes and play-action passes, really good quarterback, really good runners, really good receivers, lots of good tight ends, do a lot of personnel groups. And I think it's a part of their offense, part of the misdirection that they do to do some of the things that they do that are complementary to the plays that they run. And I think discipline, eye control on defense is really, really important when you play anyone who has, that kind of diversification in their offense, which I think is really good, and it's been very effective for them. So we're going to have to do a really good job. We try to prepare our players for it, but you never know what's coming up next, so you got to be focused on every play.
Raise your hand if you have a question. We have one in the back left.
It's for Coach Harbaugh. This is Hobie Artigue with Local 4 TV in Detroit. Since walking off the field at the Fiesta Bowl last year, how much have you seen your quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, change over the last year?
Change, grow would be the better word. I mean, just phenomenal in his in everything that he does. I would call it growth. I mean, just better each day. I see a better today than he was yesterday, better tomorrow than he was today. It's just that's his mindset. It's fun to be around. It's infectious. Rubs off on everybody, including us coaches and me. Would follow him anywhere. He's like the kid in the candy store. Whether we're in a meeting, at practice. It's just infectious in every way. His play has been outstanding, and he is really locked in for this game.
Any questions? Raise your hand if you have a question. We'll go to the middle here on the left, about 4 rows back.
For Coach Saban, if you could talk about Jalen Milroe as well, just the progression you've seen. I know we've asked you throughout the year, but this is, I think someone did a story yesterday about the cake being finished. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like he's at the right spot at the right time?
Yeah, I think Jalen has, made a tremendous amount of progress, throughout the course of the year. A lot of it has to do with he prepares well for the game. I think that the success that he's had has, gradually increased his confidence throughout the course of the year and understanding of the offense. The guy's always been a great ad-libber as a quarterback in terms of scrambling and making plays when the play breaks down. But I think he's gotten so much better at executing the play, reading the play out, getting the ball to the right guys at the right time, distributing the ball more like a point guard and not thinking he has to make every play, and I think that's made him a very effective player.
All right, we're going to stay in the middle here on the left, 4 rows back.
Johnny Condon, ABC 3340 Sports in Birmingham. This is for Coach Harbaugh. Isaiah Bond has really stepped up his game the last few games for Alabama, asserted himself as one of the go-to guys. In your preparation for him, what does he do well as a route runner, playmaker, receiver that could give you guys some difficulties on Monday?
Yeah, creates separation, increases separation, snatch the ball out of the air, good with the ball security. It's it's like Coach said. It's a dangerous offense to defend. You have to defend the play, and then you have to play the next play, which is in the same play, because they do such a good job of extending the play.
We have a question on the left side again, in the back, about 3/4 back.
Coach Saban, Jamal Kennedy, and Montgomery. What has impressed you the most about Caleb Downs and the way that he's kind of played this year as a freshman?
Yeah, well, Caleb's a very special person in terms of his maturity, his leadership. He's sort of a driven guy to really learn and grow and understand. I've never seen anybody make a commitment to the first day he got there, coming up in the office every day, trying to learn the defense, learn the coverage, learn the adjustments. He's a very instinctive player. He loves playing football. He's a great competitor. And he's played really, really well for us, all season long, probably as well as any freshman player we've ever had in secondary.
All right, we have a question on the left side in the middle.
This is for Coach Saban. Rosie Langella with WSFA in Montgomery. I asked a lot of the players yesterday what their favorite moment was from the season, and a lot of them said the 4th and 31 play in the Iron Bowl. It seemed like a very pivotal moment for the team. What did you specifically learn about the team after that game?
Team after which game? That game was a difficult game for us. We'd already kind of clinched the SEC, and I think everybody was looking a little bit ahead of what might be in store for playing in the SEC championship game, and I don't think we respected the Auburn team like we should, and I don't think we played one of our best games. And I think we're very fortunate at the end of the game to be able to execute and come out with a win. So hopefully the players learn that it doesn't matter who you play. They're going to give you when they play us, we're going to get their best game, and we need to be prepared to play our best game every time we go out on the field.
We have a question in the front on the left.
Andrew Kahn, Ann Arbor News. This is for both coaches. With so much outside hype with the college football playoff games, what have your experiences in this game taught you about how to handle the 24 hours leading up to kickoff?
We'll start with Coach Harbaugh.
Yeah, today the hay's never in the barn for us. We never think of it that way. So things to clean up, polishing the diamond, as we like to say. Make the most of this day. Tonight we'll get together, watch a movie, and talk to the team, different things like that. Kind of get the red blood pumping a little bit so you can visualize it. go to sleep and see how good of a night's sleep you can get. Sometimes it's sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. That's why we really stress a good night's sleep last night. Kind of feel like that's the sleep you sleep on or play on. So got a darn good one last night. So anything tonight will just be a bonus. Wake up tomorrow and everybody has their own approach to game day. See, JJ has one. Other guys have a different approach, but mainly just gonna have to go through our routine and then get to the stadium, and then you gotta, it's like new. You're in a new setting, and it takes 5 or 10 minutes to adjust. But at some point you gotta lock in and you gotta get the rhythm. Get the rhythm, get the frickin' rhythm, and then toe meets leather, and it's on, and then I never worry about our guys once the game starts, because I know that they're going to react and do what they do and do it really well, and that can't wait for that moment. Can't wait to watch our guys compete in this game.
I think that one of the things I try to emphasize with our players is not only leading up to the game, but the whole bowl experience and the opportunities they have to do other things, is how important it is to stay committed to the task at hand. Not that you can't enjoy yourself when you do other things, other activities, but we really need to stay focused on what we came here for, especially each day in meetings, each day in practice. And then I think trying to create the right mindset in the last 48 hours leading up to the game to really focus on execution, because we have a plan. Everybody's got an accountability and a responsibility to do a job. So being able to focus on that, whether it's in one reel when we watch a film or when we're in a meeting, and what they think about when they're on their own leading up to the game, based on their ability to focus on what they need to do to execute and have good emotional discipline in how they approach doing their job. I think that's one of the most important things. If we have to motivate guys to play in this game, it's probably not a good thing. They should be pretty motivated. I think channeling the energy in the right direction is really, really important in games like this.
Our next question will come from the far right.
Dennis Dodd, CBS Sports. Nick, yesterday you said the game has changed more in the last 3 to 5 years than in the last 50. I just wonder from both you guys where you see the game headed in the future. Jim, you've talked about sharing revenue with players, but big picture, where's this game headed?
Big picture, right day before the game. State of the Union is not. Can we address some of those things after the game? Would be my preference. I'm just really.
Yeah, I would say it this way, in agreement with Jim, is the day before the game, I think it's a great question. I also think that it would be a really, really good discussion, to have at some point in time. I don't think sitting up here today is the right time to do it.
Well said.
Our next question is going to come from the middle.
This is for Coach Saban. We spoke with both coordinators earlier in the week, and both Kevin and Tommy reiterated the fact that this team is as coachable as any of the teams they've ever worked with. Is that from a leadership standpoint, or how much more enjoyable is it to work with a team that grasps coaching and then takes the information and runs with it?
Yeah, I think it's the way this team sort of transformed itself. Had a lot to do with that. We didn't start out very well early in the season, and I think the players got to the point where, hey, we want to dedicate ourselves to proving that we can be a good team, and the leadership on the team was good, the chemistry on the team is good. Everybody kind of buys into the principles and values of what you need to do to be successful, and I think that's helped us improve throughout the year, and it's something that we need to continue to do as a team, because there's still room for growth.
Our next question is going to come from the middle, about 6 rows back.
Good Good morning, Olivia Whitmire with WHNT in Huntsville. This question for both coaches, Coach Saban, if you might start, and then Harbaugh follow up. After just talking about your opponent's defense, what you've done to prepare to go up against such tough defenses, and what just sticks out about the defensive units for your opponent throughout the season.
So you're talking about Michigan's defense. I think they're a very talented defensive team. They've got really good guys up front. Their linebackers are very athletic. The secondary is very disciplined in terms of how they play and how they execute what they do. They've got some, pretty interesting ways that they pressure the quarterback, whether it's single back or plugs, or, the way they present, trying to pressure the quarterback, which I think can be challenging to the offensive line. And I think they play really, really well together as a group in terms of how they execute. They have lots of experience, and they don't make a lot of mental errors, and they don't give you a lot. You got to take what they give, and I think that's really important in the decision making for the guys when you try to attack a defense like this.
Our next question is going to come from all the way in the back on the riser.
Let me talk about Alabama's defense. Yeah, really good. Defending the run up the middle and on the perimeter, the backers can run. The edges are outstanding. There's always an edge to the defense. In the passing game, it's the combination of the really good coverage and the pressure on the quarterback. Out of pass, more of a 3-down scheme. Appears to be more of a 4-down scheme right now, and a 4-2-5. Two potential first-round picks at corner, I would see. All-American safety, really good safety play. Very, very well coached, very good. Not so much of the split safety coverages as we look to face them right now, but that combination of pressure and really good coverage, I mean, there's no real weak points to attack in the defense. So we're going to have to play really good on offense to be able to move the ball.
All right, now we're going to go all the way to the back on the left.
This is for Coach Harbaugh, Joel Sebastianelli with BCSN in Toledo. You'll be one of only 12 men to play and coach in the Rose Bowl. Is being back here something that evokes any memories or feelings for you?
Yeah, so many. I mean, it would take a long time to talk about it, but like Coach talked about, I grew up in Michigan, Ohio, probably Pennsylvania, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, that Midwest area. You grow up watching the Rose Bowl, New Year's Day. I mean, there's a couple feet of snow outside, and I mean, you're like laying on your stomach in front of the TV, your hands like that, looking at palm trees and the parade and the football game, and halftime we're outside playing football in the snow, and then watching those kind of turns from the day to the night when you watch the Rose Bowl. Like, I know that's why a lot of people in the Midwest probably moved to California. You wanted to be there, and got to be there as a player. And got to actually be there as a kid because my dad was coaching at Michigan, and team went to 3 straight Rose Bowls. And now here as a coach, it's pretty awesome. Got to participate as an 11, 12, and 13-year-old, and twice as a player, and now as a coach.
All right, we'll have our last question here coming from the back right.
Nick here in the back, Joe Goodman, AL.com. Are you concerned with the sign stealing stuff out of Michigan, and what has Alabama done to maybe prevent some of that?
No, we're really not concerned about that. Integrity in the game, I think, is really, really important, and our team has had every opportunity to prepare for this game, just like they have every other game, and I think that especially when you're a no-huddle team, you got to adapt and adjust how you communicate with the quarterback, and hopefully one day we'll get to the NFL system where you can just talk to the guy in his helmet. I think that would be a lot better, but for now we just have to adapt to how we communicate with the quarterback, and we'll change it up and try to not put our players at a disadvantage in any way.
All right, with that, we will go ahead and have the coaches stand up and do the photo opportunity with the trophy. We'll have the photographers stay down so that the video cameras in the back can get their shot first. All right, now the photographers in front, if you need to stand up, you can go ahead and do so. All right, thank you, coaches. You're all set. Transcripts and video of the press conference will be available on the CFP media portal in a few minutes.
Thank you. Thank you.